Hello Pharma aspirants, welcome back to Acharya. In our last video, we discussed how GMP grade API is manufactured to ensure safety and consistency before it enters human studies. Now, we move on to the next major step in the drug development life cycle, the Investigational New Drug application, that is IND. The IND marks the official transition from preclinical to clinical development. It is a detailed regulatory dossier submitted to authorities like the FDA, EMA, or CDSCO to request approval for initiating human trials. The IND isn't just an application, it's a comprehensive document designed to demonstrate that the drug is reasonably safe for initial human exposure and that the proposed clinical trial is scientifically and ethically sound. The IND consists of three main sections: preclinical data, including the animal studies, toxicology, and pharmacokinetics; chemistry, manufacturing, and controls data that detail how the API and drug formulation were made and tested under GMP conditions; and the clinical trial protocol outlining the study design, dosing, subject criteria, monitoring, and ethical approvals. It also includes information about the investigators and trial sites. Once submitted, the regulatory body reviews the IND typically within 30 days in the US, and unless they place a clinical hold, the trial sponsor can proceed to phase 1 clinical trials. Before a new drug enters clinical trials in humans, it must go through a structured regulatory process that begins with the Investigational New Drug application. Let's walk through the step-by-step flow of this process as per the FDA. We begin in the preclinical research phase. At this stage, all essential laboratory and animal studies are completed. The drug's safety and pharmacological profile are evaluated through both in vitro and in vivo experiments. Once the data supports further development, a GMP grade API batch is manufactured and a suitable formulation is selected for human administration. The next step is IND dossier preparation. This is where everything comes together. The sponsor compiles all the necessary data like non-clinical findings, chemistry, and manufacturing information, and the proposed clinical protocol. These documents are organized according to the FDA's Common Technical Document format, validated for accuracy and prepared for submission. Once the dossier is ready, it's time for IND submission to the FDA. For drugs, the application is submitted to Center for Drug Evaluation and Research, that is CDER, and for biologics, it goes to Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, that is CBER. The submission must include all administrative, technical, and quality modules as per FDA requirements. Upon receipt, the FDA initiates a 30-day review clock. During this period, the agency closely examines the safety data, proposed clinical trial design, dosing rationale, and investigators' information. If the FDA identifies any safety concerns, they may issue a clinical hold, which pauses the trial until issues are resolved. However, if no hold is issued, the sponsor may begin phase 1 clinical trials after 30 calendar days from submission. From here, the sponsor must maintain ongoing regulatory compliance by submitting timely safety updates, protocol amendments, and annual reports as required. However, if no hold is issued, the sponsor may begin phase 1 clinical trials after 30 calendar days from submission. From here on, the sponsor must maintain ongoing regulatory compliance by submitting timely safety updates, protocol amendments, and annual reports as required. The process doesn't stop here. Throughout the trial, adherence to global standards such as GCP, GMP, and ICH guidelines is mandatory. Any adverse events, protocol changes, or safety signals must be documented and reported under the IND safety reporting requirements. The structured IND flow ensures patient safety, scientific rigor, and regulatory transparency as a drug transitions from bench to bedside. The IND is more than a regulatory formality. It's a safety checkpoint that ensures robust scientific justification and patient protection before human exposure begins. Mark the key takeaways from this video. In our next video, we'll take a closer look at phase 1 clinical trials, how they are conducted, and what kind of data is collected from these first-in-human studies. Until then, stay curious, stay committed, and stay pharma smart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Acharya for more valuable insights into the drug development journey. Thank you for watching.